problem, typical kind of problem that might occur dealing with vectors in the early stages. Okay, we have the point 7,3 and a vector of magnitude 10 that hits the y-axis somewhere. How do we determine where that vector would hit the y-axis? And the process is actually reasonably accessible. First of all, we sketch a picture. And we see that there are two ways that a vector of magnitude 10 from this point could reach the y-axis. Now, it would be possible to simply use this triangle here, this side from x equals 7 to the y-axis would have length 7. This has length 10, so you could use the Pythagorean theorem and find this side, and you'll have a point below and a point above this point that are at distance 10. And the vector would go to one of those points. Okay? A little more formally, I'm going to set it up this way. Magnitude of V is 10. And V is what? Well, V has to go from 7,3 to the y-axis, so that the x-coordinate of the point where the vector ends is going to be 0, so that the x-component has to be negative 7i. Now, obviously that's equivalent to saying the side of this triangle has length 7 geometrically. But formally we could write this. And then the other coordinate would be y minus 3, where y is the y-coordinate. And clearly this distance is y minus 3, and that would be your j component. So this vector has x component negative 7 and j component y minus 3, where y is undetermined. Well, the magnitude of V is easily written out using the Pythagorean theorem. And we square both sides, and of course we probably want to square this side as well. And now we have an equation we can solve for y. And I'll note that this is a quadratic equation. And it generally has two solutions. And of course that matches the situation because there are two such vectors that hit the y-axis. Now if the position of the point is specified to be above this this given point, then you would pick the one where the y-coordinate is greater than 3. If it's below, you pick this one, but if you want every possible solution, and you generally will want to get every possible solution, and then eliminate the ones you don't need, you would solve the quadratic equation and get both solutions.